For today, what I want to do is give you a thought experiment, and just as an illustration, just to approach Bible study on. And I'm going to give you a little assignment, because remember, this is not just Bible teaching. This is more about how you can engage in the Bible. Now imagine, and I know in advance there's plot holes with this, okay, but work with me. This is just an illustration. That imagine someone tells you that your current house or where you live, on your property, in your yard, or maybe if you're in an apartment, somewhere on your property, they know for a fact that a previous owner, years and years and years ago, stashed $100,000 cash. And if you do find it because it's on your property, it will be yours if you find it. $100,000 in cash. It is there. We just don't know where. How would you look? First of all, you would look. But second of all, what would characterize the search? Now, the reason I use this, and we'll kind of come back to this, is that in the book of Proverbs, it talks about searching out wisdom. How do you find wisdom? And it says, if you will seek wisdom like you're seeking a hidden treasure. We're all fascinated by treasure hunting stories. I mean, they're fun, they're interesting. When you're a kid, you do those because there's something cool about the search. Jesus used the analogy. He said the kingdom of heaven is like someone who searched for a pearl of great price and finally found it. Had been searching for it and was super stoked when they found it. What characterizes searching for something that you value? Now, if you think about this, you don't need the treasure hunt story. You can think about the last time you lost your car keys, or if you've ever had the terrible experience of losing a child in a grocery store or something. Number one, you get very intense. In other words, you're not casual about searching for something you really care about. Maybe it'll turn up someday. Maybe my kid will turn up. Whatever. You get very intense. And married to that is you get very focused. Everything else gets shut out. If you're looking for your car keys, you're looking for $100,000, you're going to get focused. You're not going to just sort of think about it along with other things. If you're smart, you'll get systematic. Smart, emotionless searching gets past the desperate stage. I'm looking everywhere. Okay, when you really want to find something, usually you have to step back and say, okay, I'm going to retrace my steps, or I'm going to go about this in a way almost like process of elimination, really think it through, and that gives you a lot more success. Now, I think you can see the analogy to reading the Bible and engaging with the Bible. We've said, first of all, you always want to approach the treasure is the fact that it was breathed out by God. God wanted those words to be there, and he wanted them to be there in the form that they're there. 3 John, this little book, not really a book, it's a letter. It's literally a one-page letter from a leader of the early church writing to this Gaius person about the overall thing is he's asking him to host some people that are coming through who are teaching and things, and to share with them and be willing to welcome them. It's kind of a recommendation letter almost. And so God wanted that to be there. But if God wanted it there and it's useful, what's my attitude towards it? It should be searching. I should have a level of intensity about me. I should have a level of focus. When you go to engage with the Bible, don't also try to watch television. Don't also try to think about other things. Again, I've told you, try to grab 5 minutes at first of focused attention. I'm just going to focus and do what it takes to focus. Speak out loud, read out loud, do the things that help you not be distracted. Check out your environment. Go to a room somewhere you're not going to be distracted. Park your car somewhere where you're isolated. I don't care what you have to do to focus, but focus. And then thirdly, be systematic about it. That's why I'm saying we're going to go with the shortest books and we're going to work our way up. That's the system. And read them all the way through. That's the system. If you're systematic and thoughtful, you'll cover a little bit more ground. So I'm going to give you a search thing though. And once you're in the text, think about things and really kind of go for them. Because in 3 John, he says in verse 4, I have no greater joy than this, to hear of my children walking in the truth. He uses that phrase. Now again, in 3 John, if you've read it through, which I'm sure you have because that's for the assignment, you've read it through once, maybe you've read it through twice, keep reading it through, listen to the flow of thought, listen for the ideas to surface, be honest about questions. But you have to notice that he uses, just like 2 John, he uses the word truth a lot. But then he says that phrase, I have no greater joy than this, to hear my children walking in the truth. Walking in the truth. I'm going to give you a little bit of a treasure hunt. What does it mean to do that? That's a good question. That's a phrase that's not only used here, but it's used elsewhere. How do you search it out? Well, you can do it a few ways. You can look in other parts of the Bible where the idea of walking is used as an illustration. You can use background commentaries. You can think about it yourself. One of the things that I try to do is not take words for granted. I mean, I know what it means to walk. Of course I do. But what I like to do, and what helps me teach and explain things even to myself as well as others, is I drop back and think, okay, when I'm walking, what am I doing? Walk in the truth. Why did he not say run? Why did he not say sit? Why did he not say lay down in the truth? Why did he say walk? I mean, they'll sound like dumb questions on the one hand, but they're really not. It's thinking through, God breathed this out. He chose this term, this phrase of walking in the truth. What does it mean, walking in the truth? That's your assignment, to seek it out. Look at commentaries, just think about it. What does it mean to walk in the truth? During your day to day, I'm walking in the truth. How's that different from walking in falsehood? And just process what you get. Just think about something in a focused way, in a systematic way, and kind of an intense way. And I think you'll get a lot out of it. And again, just that one phrase, this is not major. We're going to start small. We're going to go for daily. But just be thinking about that. And we'll talk a little bit about tomorrow and some of the thoughts that I had about that and things that I've discovered through my studies in the past. Thanks.